The Puck Portfolio with Andy MacNeil.
Hey, welcome to the Puck Portfolio. My name is Andy MacNeil. I'm your host. I'm here on weekdays to provide betting picks and advice throughout the NHL playoffs. Of course, we are well into round one of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We've got a few matchups to end the week here, maybe some weekend hockey. We don't know yet. That'll be determined on Thursday and Friday, but it is Thursday, May 2nd, and we've got a big game 6 between my Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. So here's what we do know about Auston Matthews, according to Emily Kaplan of ESPN. Matthews was playing through an illness, as we all knew, but he apparently suffered an injury while playing through that illness, and he missed Game 5 as a result, of course. And now it has been confirmed, per head coach Sheldon Keefe, that Matthews will not play in Game 6. Jake, my man, what's up? What do you think about all this? Are you pretty surprised that Auston Matthews will not be suiting up for Game 6?
I am. I'm really surprised. I sort of, I think everybody kind of gave them the benefit of the doubt when he missed Game 5, but him missing Game 6 is totally bizarre. And then Sheldon keeping up this ruse that it's like illness related and whatnot, and we don't actually really know the extent of the injury. It's totally bizarre. Like Michael Leboff was saying earlier in the week, if this was happening in basketball or the NFL or something like that, it's like the whole country would shut down. So it's really, really bizarre. Obviously, if a guy had an illness this bad, he wouldn't be practicing with his teammates. So I think they should just come out and say it. I don't think it gives them an edge against Boston in any way to sort of pretend or to be, sort of cagey about what's actually going on.
Yeah, one of the things that Emily Kaplan said during her interview that really kind of made me step back for a second was that she said we'll find out about this when the Maple Leaf season is over, and that is does that mean this is something that's longer term, right? Like, I mean, is Matthews in jeopardy of being out for a playoff run if the Leafs do in fact force a Game 7 and find a way to eliminate the Boston Bruins? But I thought it was pretty interesting that she made a point of saying that we'd find out when the Maple Leaf season was over. So pretty crazy stuff. And I mean, it seems crazy to say, but it doesn't seem like this is getting as much coverage as you would expect, given just the magnitude of this. Maybe Leafs Nation has just kind of talked themselves into believing that the Leafs are actually better without Auston Matthews in the lineup, because people have actually been pushing that narrative, which is crazy. And I know the Ewing theory, very well-studied phenomena. We saw Greg Wyszynski of ESPN talking about that a couple of days ago when Toronto did get the win in Game 5. And the idea is that, when a big star is out, the other players will raise their game and make up for it in a short sample anyways. And it comes from, an instance where Patrick Ewing was out for the New York Knicks way back when, and the Knicks still managed to play pretty good without him. But I don't foresee this being something that continues to be the case. If this series does extend to 7 games, the Maple Leafs are worse off without Auston Matthews. He's a 69 goal scorer, for Christ's sake. So they are much better off with Auston Matthews in the lineup than they are without. But we do know Joseph Woll will start in goal for the Maple Leafs, and I mean, he's at least tough mentally, unlike Ilya Samsonov. I don't think Samsonov is, he's just a shell of himself this last season or so. Really seemed like he was, kind of broken mid-season, and I'm not sure why they regained so much confidence in him. But Woll definitely seems like the guy here. Some minor changes for the Bruins lineup tonight. Danton Heinen and Matt Grzelcyk out of the lineup. That means Johnny Beecher and Kevin Shattenkirk are going to draw back in, and there's been a pretty big impact on the betting market. Toronto, they were a favorite, priced around -118, but that has flipped completely, and Boston is now priced between -115, -120 across the board. NorthStar Bets currently has the Bruins at -117. So this is one of those things where if you didn't get on Boston right when that news became public, or shortly after that, this line moved pretty fast, and you missed out. So right now, no official bet on this one for me because I'm in a pretty good position with my series spread bet here. Obviously, I would have liked to see the Boston Bruins get this thing done in Game 5, but yeah, I'm not going to complain about my position holding the Bruins minus 1.5 games on the series spread plus 170. And they're the favorite in Game 6. So there's a better than 50% chance that they'll win tonight. So that means there's a better than 50% chance that I will win my series spread bet. Game 7 will go Saturday if necessary, and the winner of this series will, of course, take on the Florida Panthers, who have been sitting since they eliminated the Lightning on April 29th. Now, moving on to Friday, May 3rd, we've got a couple of Western Conference matchups. Vancouver Canucks at Nashville Predators. Nashville has a chance to force Game 7 with a win on Friday. I think this one's been pretty evenly matched, and it hasn't been the most exciting series, that's for sure. And Game 5 was a perfect example. Both of these teams trying to slow things down. Neither team scored until the third period. All of the goals were scored in about a 10-minute stretch in the third period. Of course, Nashville won that game 2-1. I think this series deserves a Game 7. I mean, some of the people that have watched it pretty closely might disagree because, like I said, it's been a pretty tough watch. But yeah, Nashville, they've owned about 52% of the expected goals, about 51% of the shot attempts in all situations. The Preds, they haven't been as good at 5-on-5 necessarily, but overall they've been pretty good. And I think this series deserves a Game 7, and there is a better than 50% chance that happens. I think the Predators win this game approximately 53% of the time. It's going to be interesting to see how long Edmonton has to sit before their second round schedule is released. The Oilers wrapped up their series versus the Los Angeles Kings on Wednesday. Could be Sunday before they find out who their opponent will be, because if this series goes 7 games, then the seventh game will be played on Sunday. So if this does go 7 games, Edmonton could be sitting for almost an entire week. They wouldn't get going on Monday, probably wouldn't get going on Tuesday either, maybe, but most likely Wednesday for the start of that series. So yeah, this you could be seeing the Florida Panthers, the Edmonton Oilers with a lot of rust coming in to the second round. The Dallas Stars, they've battled back. They've come all the way back down from 0-2 in the series. They have a chance to eliminate the Vegas Golden Knights, the defending Stanley Cup champs, in Game 6 on Friday. And per Evolving Hockey, the Dallas Stars have been the most dominant team in the first round. At 5-on-5, they've posted an expected goal differential of 1.15 expected goals per 60 minutes. Dallas has owned a 61% share of the 5-on-5 expected goals, which is about 5 percentage points more than the next best team, the Carolina Hurricanes. According to my model, which continues to be continues to rate the Stars higher and higher after each performance. They've been the better team in each and every game in this series. It thinks Dallas should be a minus 115 favorite. So give me the Stars on the money line at minus 107. The current odds at NorthStar Bets make it a 0.75 unit bet. And yeah, we do know the winner of this series will face off against the Colorado Avalanche. So, I mean, the first round, it's been pretty disappointing as from an entertainment standpoint. Wouldn't you agree, Jake?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, not a lot of drama, not a lot of those sort of really feisty matchups that we're used to seeing early on. Um, yeah,
Winnipeg
just
and Colorado was great, but it only lasted 5 games, right? And
well, it was great
um,
great for me because the Canadians own Winnipeg's first round pick, so it's actually it might be pretty decent now. They're talking
okay,
about
yeah.
maybe 24th overall, but yeah, we were expecting some fireworks from that season. That's true. I'm glad you mentioned that because going into it, like you said, a lot of people were picking the Jets. A lot of people were even picking the Jets to maybe be in the Stanley Cup Finals. Maybe overestimating Colorado a little bit because of their goaltending struggles so far this year, or actually the last 2 years, and they showed why they've been successful in the last few years, and they came out and played playoff hockey, and the Jets just weren't ready. Hellebuck wasn't ready for sure.
Yeah, he made some interesting comments actually in his post-season presser today, I guess this morning, he was saying that he thought he was playing his best hockey of his career. He felt like he was locked in. He felt like he wasn't even thinking about it. Everything was just second nature to him. He felt really good about every game he played in the playoffs. He said it was heartbreaking that he wasn't able to, pull one out for them and steal a game. And he let 4 plus goals in every game. He said he felt like he didn't even see half of the pucks that went in the net. Basically, just a compliment to how good Colorado was, because I think he'd probably be the first person to tell you if he played poorly or not. Right? He felt like he played pretty good. He said, "Yeah, I don't think you guys will believe me when I tell you that I played my best hockey of my life." Just that's how good that Avalanche team is. And yeah, I was definitely one of the people that underestimated the Avs, but they've shown, at least their top stars have shown, that they can carry them a little bit further than I thought they could. But it's, looking ahead, we don't know who the second round matchups are going to be. We know Carolina and New York will face off against each other in the second round. Of course, we've got our New York and Carolina series prediction preview video up on the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel that released yesterday, so you can check it out. But that's the only confirmed matchup that we got. But we could be seeing Edmonton and Vancouver, Boston and Florida, Colorado and Dallas. At least these are, the matchups that I want to see, 4 absolute bangers. I mean, Toronto and Florida, that would be pretty good as well. But of course, I don't want to see that one. Edmonton and Nashville, I think that would be the ideal matchup for the Oilers, because they've obviously had a lot of trouble with the Canucks this season. They got swept in the regular season. Then again, Thatcher Demko's status is still pretty up in the air, but they have historically kind of dominated the Predators, so you would think that would be the easier matchup for them. But yeah, the theater of a Canucks Oilers matchup in the second round would be great, as would a Colorado Dallas series, Boston Florida rematch from last year, and Carolina and New York is going to be pretty epic in its own right. So while the first round not that great, I think the second round could be shaping up to be the best of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Of the potential matchups, Jake, which one do you think you'd be most interested in watching play 7 games?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, obviously Edmonton, Vancouver would be awesome to see. I mean, especially for me, I don't really have any sort of divided loyalties there, so
Yeah.
I just be into some great hockey. Um, and interestingly, probably not a matchup, that would make some waves here. But I think Colorado Dallas
Oh
would be an
yeah.
awesome series. That
Yeah.
would
I
be
think they'll just go toe to toe, right?
yeah.
It'll just be a heavyweight fight. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Vancouver, Edmonton, I think just, the close flight. I think both franchises travel pretty well as far as their fan bases go. I think you'd see a pretty good mix in both arenas if it was the Canucks and the Oilers in the second round. And they haven't, I think overall the Canucks Oilers rivalry has, really died off in the last decade or so. Certainly not at the level it was years ago. So I think it would be pretty cool to see a series between those two teams and kind of, you know reignite the rivalry, so to speak. So yeah, looking forward to that. Hoping my Bruins get a win on Thursday. I've I'm trying to put on a brave face here, but I don't even want to watch this game. I don't feel like I should have to watch it. They should have won in game 5. They should have come out with a better effort, but they didn't. I really feel like that poor start, you know, really helped give Toronto the game. I'm not saying the Maple Leafs didn't deserve it, but yeah, Boston just being so flat to start game 5 in front of their home crowd. Pretty surprised, and maybe they didn't learn as much from last year as you would think they did. But yeah, pretty much does it for today's show. I will be back on Friday with Nick Martin and Jake to break down this weekend's hockey action. Until then, enjoy the games. Unless you're a fan of the Maple Leafs, I hope you have a miserable evening, and good luck with your bets. So take care.